Snyder talked about a lot of new paths for our state.
Joining us now to talk about the governor's speech is Bobby Shostak here in our newsroom. He's the chairman of the Michigan Republican Party, and Mark Brewer, chairman of the Michigan Democratic Party. Thank you both for joining us. I'll start with you, Mark, in Lansing tonight. Democrats obviously felt like they got railroaded at the end of the last session. Was there bad blood tonight, do you think?
I think there was, and just great disappointment in the governor's speech. He neglected to talk about the two most important things to us in Michigan, just creating more jobs with our high unemployment rate and talking about education. He completely neglected those two topics tonight, added to our disappointment.
Mr. Shostak, let's ask you, what did you think about the governor's speech, and specifically, what did you think about him talking about roads here in Michigan? So many people have been complaining so many years, and then he came out with a plan.
Sure. You know, the governor got up there tonight and addressed a multitude of topics, reviewing a bit of the past, highlighting what's needed to be done in the future, and he covered, you know, really critical issues, roads just being one of them. Education was addressed, community health was addressed, the environment, the Great Lakes, a host of issues that I think are really good for all Michigan citizens that need to be addressed. The roads, of course, are a challenge. For 10 years, we ignored our roads. For 10 years, there has been no real investment in our roads. Governor Snyder put an important proposal on the table. It's going to take a lot of debate, and I hope the Democrats and Republicans can work together to come up with a plan that makes sense for all of Michigan.
Well, you bring up the point, Mr. Shostak, that's going to be a little tough after what happened at the end of the last session. The Democrats are feeling they got railroaded, as I put it a moment ago. Can they work together and move forward at this point?
Yeah, I say it's nonsense that we can't work together. Important projects like roads are something that both sides need to address, and that's why the governor put it on the table. There were reforms done for Michigan all through last year that you go across the board, you poll them amongst Democrats or Republicans, independents, just Michigan citizens that care about our state, and they see the opportunity of choice and freedom, less regulation, job growth, improving, Michigan, you know, improving on every measurable metric across the country, being a leader in so many areas now. So there's a lot of good coming out of the Snyder administration and this legislature, and I think the Democrats can embrace it. They should embrace it. We look into 2013 as an important year to really get the next level of things through.
Yes, indeed.
And done in our state.
Absolutely. Mr. Brewer, let's get you to react to the governor's speech. A lot of good things coming out of the governor's mouth, but what's your reaction?
Well, again, I think a lot of platitudes. Look, we have one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. More than 1 out of every 10 Michigan workers can't find a job in this state. Very little about that tonight. Public education's been gutted. And as far as roads go, everybody in the middle class should be very afraid tonight, because what's coming is another tax increase on the middle class to pay for Snyder's road program, because he refuses to ask the corporations and so forth to pay their fair share in this state. That's what's coming. People should be for it.
So let me ask you this. Go from 15% unemployment down to under 9% unemployment. I'd say that there's a pretty good direction in that one metric alone.
None of that is due to Snyder's work.
Oh, really?
It's all due to the auto recovery. It has nothing to do with Snyder's work the last couple of years.
Let me ask you this.
Those billions of dollars in corporate tax cuts have not yielded a single job here in Michigan.
So 6
the governor takes credit for things he doesn't deserve credit for.
So 6 percentage points of job improvement in Michigan after 10 years of blown away by Governor Granholm, and every other metric of job growth and economic growth, income growth, you list it. Every one of them improved. None of those are credible. Mark, I think you know better.
All of those jobs are due to the recovery of the auto industry in this state, which is to the credit of the President of the United States, not Rick Snyder.
Okay, thank you both very much, Mark Brewer and Lansing. I hate to cut you off, Mr. Brewer and Mr. Shostak. Thank you both for this, and I know we're going to have a lively year of debate, and we can kind of
no kumbaya moment tonight between the Democrats or the Republicans.
Well, we do thank them both for coming in and talking about the governor's address tonight.